Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sunday night is organ music night. And yes, congratulations for recognizing the Nancy organ again. Nancy, if you want to speak English, but the Nancy, that's the French name. Nancy Cathedral, this amazing French style, Cavaille style organ here. And I haven't played it for months, so the first piece of music this evening was just a little reminder for myself, a little improvisation, building up a huge crescendo and back down again so that I could remind myself what the organ sounded like and also where I have all my registrations. So a lovely piece of improvisation, even if I do say so myself, just to get used to what the organ is doing again. Now, apologies from Vanessa this evening. Vanessa is sitting next to me here this evening, and Vanessa's hands are kind of tied up. And you can, if you listen very carefully, you might be able to hear little baby hiccups in the background as well. Baby Gartshore has got hiccups. Baby Gartshore was fed just before the concert in the hope that we would have some time so that Vanessa could do her director work this evening. However, that was not to happen. Baby Gartshore was unhappy during feeding time today and is now out for the count, but has lovely hiccups. So Vanessa is looking after Baby Gartshore with one hand and keeping an eye on the chat with the other hand. She's multitasking tonight. So if you weren't here on Friday night we welcomed our new gang member. Oh, by the way, Vanessa, we still have a picture in the corner. See that?
Yeah, ich habe schon weggemacht. Mit einer Hand ist das Eis nicht.
Really? Oh, it's gone already. Oh, I see. Vanessa's doing, sorry, she's doing everything with one hand. It's quite difficult. If I knew what the buttons on this machine did, I could try to do it myself as well, but I don't want to touch anything in case I ruin it for her. So yes, if you weren't here on Friday night we said good evening and welcome to Baby Gartshore. Yes, Vanessa and I recently became parents for the first time. On the 29th of March, our baby daughter was born and spent the first 3 weeks of her life in hospital, which was not exactly exciting. It was rather worrying, in fact, and fingers crossed that everything is now okay. We have been home for a week now, and we hope that everything will be okay and everything will still be okay. We will have to visit various doctors over the next few weeks to make sure that everything is still okay and stays that way. So fingers crossed that everything is good for us. So if you missed us on Friday night, we didn't tell anybody our baby's name, and that's going to remain that way. Some of you out there, some of our closer friends and family obviously know the baby's name already, but we ask that you keep that private. Thank you very much. Vanessa and I do not believe that babies, children in general, have any place in the internet, and are keeping our baby Gartshore private, as it were. But there she is. It's a baby daughter, and she's growing and she's eating and she's amazing. It's wonderful. We're having so much fun together, and this is definitely a big change in life for us, and we have to make sure, of course, that we can still perform our concerts for you guys and keep the music going. So on Friday night we had our first concert back at the organ, and we wanted to make sure that everything kind of worked. And Vanessa was running up and down stairs, baby in arms, baby in beds and things. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. So tonight is our second one. So fingers crossed that Vanessa will be here for most of the evening. She may have to disappear at some point, and I will have to do some pressing of buttons. So there may be the odd technical hitch. We do have some help in the chat. We have Cam helping us out in the chat tonight. Cam with his blue spanner. And of course we have great Uncle Joe also helping us out in the chat tonight. So thank you very much indeed for that. That's very kind of you indeed. I beg your pardon? Oh, Vanessa's coming around to say, she's saying hello to everybody. She's saying hello to as many people as she can. If, however, she stops typing for any reason, it's probably because a baby is demanding things in the background. So don't feel left out if you don't get your name mentioned tonight. We hope we can get through all of you, and we'll get there. So now, tonight's concert is going to be a concert of music. We've got a proper program tonight. Friday was very spontaneous. We had no program at all, and I was just making it up as I was going along. But tonight we actually have a program of music that is in some way connected to babies, children, young people in general. We have some hymns, we have some classical pieces, we have some popular pieces, we have some fun pieces. And I'm actually going to start with a fun piece. This was something that was actually requested on Friday night, but it came in so late we didn't have a chance to get round to it. Tasty beverage, by the way, if you're in the chat, if you're one of our channel members, don't forget, tasty beverage. And we had a request for a piece of jazzy music, believe it or not. It's got nothing to do with actual babies as such, but the title of it involves the word baby. It's called Walking My Baby Back Home. And that works perfectly, actually. This was a request by our friend Yellowbird. Is Yellowbird here already? Yeah. Hello, Yellowbird. Thank you for your request. This is it for tonight. Now, I don't need the music. This is an old jazz tune that I've been playing for hundreds of years. So I hope I can remember it, actually. I know you sent the music, but theoretically, I don't need it. How does the middle bit go? Yeah, okay, got it. Something like that. Who's saying that? Yes, I'll tell you the mozzarella joke in a minute. In a minute when we get back. But yes, walking my baby back home. And that's actually quite fitting for today's thing, because today was our first outing into the big wide world. We've been very careful the last week, keeping her at home, just in case, we don't want any infections or anything like that. So today was the first walk in the countryside we had, walking my baby around the village. We took Shiloh, our dog, with us, and we had a family walk through the village. And it was really rather lovely. More of that to come. Walking my baby back home. There's nothing like a French cathedral organ to get the juices going. Walking my baby back home. Nothing to do with actual babies, but a cute tune nonetheless. And you can have fun even on a French cathedral organ with jazzy music like that. More of that coming during the evening's entertainment. And yes, so thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see in the chat tonight, our great Uncle Joe is doing all sorts he's doing some fundraising by the looks of it. So thank you, Uncle Joe. And BOJ, by the way, is Bundle of Joy. That's what we called our Friday concert, our little bundle of joy. And that's what our baby Gartshore is, our little bundle of joy. And Uncle Joe there, and I suspect Cam will do it as well, they're dead keen to get some fundraising going. You can see there, Vanessa has pinned a message saying, welcome baby Gartshore. And there's a link, a disgraceful link to our PayPal account. Haha. And yes, we are very grateful to all of you and any of you who would like to donate anything towards our little bundle of joy. We were going to start saving up some money for her as well. Yes, she has an interesting world that she's coming into, and who knows what will happen over the next 20 odd years. Good heavens. One never knows. So thank you very much indeed for your generous gifts. Pretty much everything that's coming in for the next little while is going to be put towards her, actually. So thank you very much. And thank you, Uncle Joe, for spreading the word and getting the ball rolling. I already saw, Fraser, your English is better than German. Yes, of course it is, because I am British. I think it's I live in Germany, but I'm not from Germany. This is hilarious when people say that. I had someone recently say to me, "Oh, you do have a slight German accent when you speak English." No, I don't. It's my posh accent from where I come from. Nothing I can do about that. So yeah, a lot of people say that. Now, I've lived in Germany for 23 years now, almost half my life. Gosh, in a couple of years' time, that will be half my life in Germany. Yes. In 4 years' time, it will be half my life in Germany. There you are. Gosh, that's exciting. So yes, but I do still speak English, and I speak German as well, obviously. I learnt German very quickly, actually. Everyone says it's a difficult language to learn. Rubbish. It's an incredibly easy language to learn because there are many rules and not many exceptions. English is, of course, the exact opposite. Hardly any rules and a million exceptions. Impossible. Yeah, Vanessa's saying, it's funny when people tell me my English is good. I said, yes, well, thank you. So is your recognition. Right, let's have a piece of baby music. This was written by Robert Schumann. Remember Robert Schumann? Robert Schumann was a wonderful composer, one of the finest German romantic composers. Born in Düsseldorf, died in Bonn. He died in the insane asylum in Bonn. He went mad with depression during his life. His friend Johannes Brahms would come and visit him regularly. His wife Clara would come and keep an eye on him. He regularly tried to commit suicide, believe it or not. He threw himself into the River Rhine many times, but in those days there wasn't quite as much water in the Rhine as there is now. And the Schumann family, or Robert and Clara, they are buried in the city center cemetery in Bonn. If you ever visit the city of Bonn, do go to the cemetery in the city center. You will find Schumann's grave. You will also find the grave of Beethoven's mother. So there you are. Beethoven was born in Bonn, hated every minute of it, but his mother is still buried there. So there you are. There you are. Useless information all round. You know me, I am a font of useless information regarding musicians and composers. However, let's go back to the world of Robert Schumann and one of his... I beg your pardon? Vanessa's trying to do a question mark with one hand and it's not working. You need to do the shift on the other side, on the right-hand side. Anyway, so yes, Träumerei, there's a lovely word for you. Träumerei, it means dreams or dreaming or just dreaminess or all of those things. And this is possibly Robert Schumann's most famous composition from his children's scenes, or Kinderzähnen as they are called in German. Not Kinderzähne, that would be children's teeth, but Kinderzähnen, so that's children's scenes, or scenes from children's world. I can't remember what the actual English title was. Träumerei, it's lovely, you all recognize it. Träumerei from Children's Scenes by Mr. Robert Schumann. And yes, lovely piece of music. It sort of works on an organ, doesn't it? You need more sort of pianistic things going on in the background, but it will work. Children's hymns. There are lots of wonderful, cute and cuddly children's hymns all around the world, and I've dug out some of them tonight. I think these are rather hilarious, and one of them is a great fun piece of music. I love it. I used to love playing these things when I was back in the UK, before I moved to Germany, when I still spoke English all the time. And this is a rather cute one called One More Step Along the World I Go. Perfect for kids who are learning about the outside world. Okay. Haha. I couldn't resist putting in some steptoe and sun there. Did you get that? Steptoe and Son, a wonderful old piece of television comedy from the United Kingdom. Did you hear in the background a little crying voice there? That is our little baby Gartshore, and we've given her the nickname Mozzarella, which sounds cute. Mozzarella is a beautiful little ball of fluffy cheese from Italy that you think is very nice. But there's a German word motzen, which means to moan and complain and be angry and rah, rah. You know when kids are sort of and they don't know what they're doing. That's sort of motzen. And we thought mozzarella would be a lovely name for her just for fun when she's in that kind of mood. So after she's had a feed, she only does this at night time for some reason, only when it's dark. When she feeds in the dark, she gets all and I think it sounded like we were about to get one of those going there, but no, it stopped. It stopped. Oh, I see. Oh, Vanessa changed hands. She went from right to left. Changed hands, and that didn't work. That didn't work. Oh, I'd love to show you our little mozzarella, our little ball of mozzarella there, but like we say, we're keeping her away from the perils of the internet. So you can hear her from time to time, which I think is rather cute. Now, in the subject of fun hymn tunes for kids and old ones like this, nowadays everything's sort of very, very, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? I better be careful what I say here. I don't want to offend anyone. Oh, no, yes, I do. No, but nowadays, you know, modern churchy music is very, it's sort of very nice, actually, but that's it, nice, yeah? Nice. It doesn't have the sort of the balls that it used to have. Modern church music used to grab you by the cojones. And this here is a wonderful piece of music that I remember playing in the cathedral in Inverness, on the organ of the cathedral in Inverness. And I used to love playing this when they had family services. They always got me to come and play the organ, because the normal organist hated it. He hated playing these kinds of things, or modern tunes. And he wasn't very good at playing modern style tunes anyway. And one I loved playing all the time was this. If you know the words, do please sing along. It's a great one. It's a sort of almost a yee-haw kind of song. You can get the old tambourines and the old bits and pieces going. It's a gospel number. It's almost actually a country and western number I would say as well. If you know it, sing along. It's got sing in the title. You might recognize it. Give me oil in my lamp. Give me joy in my heart. Give me peace in my heart. Give me joy in my heart. Give me peace in my heart. Oh, they repeat themselves. Okay, you might recognize it. Sing Hosanna, and it's lovely. I know it in E major, but it's written here in E flat, so I feel some transposition will be going on as well. Don't you love the acoustic of a French cathedral? My goodness me, this is really good. Sing Hosanna. I used to love that because you would get, I would play it like that in the cathedral on the organ. And you could hear the sort of congregation. You would have it was the early morning young parent congregation. You know the types. And they didn't know if they were allowed to sing, if they were allowed to do anything. And it took them sort of weeks to sort of, ooh, and then they sort of think, yeah, we can join in. And we had one of the priests in the cathedral, what was his name? I can't remember now. What was his name? My mum might remember. It wasn't Arthur, and it wasn't the provost. It was the other one. And it wasn't Tim, the young one, either. Tim, the enchanter. No, Tim, the young one. It wasn't him. It was another one. What was his name? Damn it. Nice guy. Nice guy. Beard, fancy glasses, real sort of down-to-earth, tea-drinking Anglican priesty guy. What was his name? Something with J. Was it Justin? Was that right? Was it Justin? Can't remember. Mum will remember. And he used to do the family services, and he used to go bananas when we sang that kind of thing. He loved it. Absolutely loved it. Right, now I think we'll move away from the world of those hymns for the moment. I have plenty more of them. We have some other things coming. Now, let's go back to some interesting, lovely, beautiful music. Oh, hold on, I must quickly check something out with the director. Sorry, Vanessa needed a little bit of assistance in the background. She has babies in one arm, computers in the other, and she's trying to do all sorts of things in the background. Back to the world of Schubert. Or did I say back to the world of Schubert? We had Schumann, didn't we? Yes, this is Schubert. And again, this is one of his lullabies. This is one of his songs, a lullaby, number 57 of the collection. A rather beautiful piece of music. This was a request by our friend Alexander Wunderlich. And Alexander is here tonight. And Alexander we love Alexander. He's been with us since the very beginning. So Alexander is sort of part of the extended family now. Let's put it like that. So when Alexander has some lovely requests, we make sure we always try to get them in. And this is a rather beautiful vegan lied. That's Lullaby, Opus 98, number 2. By our friend Franz Schubert, isn't it? Is it Schubert oder it's Schubert, isn't it? Kannst du noch mal ganz kurz die Mail von Alexander anschauen? Es ist doch Schubert, oder? Du weißt, dass auf der anderen Seite auch ein Umschalttaste ist, ne? Auf der anderen Seite, da unten, ja. Ah! Vanessa's learning how to do things with one hand. Kannst du noch mal auf Alexanders Mail gucken, ganz schnell, bitte? Ich meine, es ist Schubert. Das Lied. Schumann oder Schubert? Schubert. Es ist Schubert. Es ist Schubert. Franz Schubert. Franz Schubert, a wonderful composer, is sort of the missing link between classical and romantic eras. Schubert did not live to be a very old man. He died in his 30s. And he died of the composer's disease, the dreaded syphilis, which everybody had in those days. And Schubert was a bit of a sort of a, shall we say, a bit of a pop star of his time, an incredibly, frighteningly promiscuous man, hence the syphilis at an early age. And if you analyze Schubert's music, you will see it's all dedicated to some posh members of society, usually duchesses and countesses and things like that. If you look at all his music, it's all dedicated to sort of grand old ladies of the Vienna upper class. And mainly because he disgraced their daughters. Let's put it like that. So anyway, yes, these are the things they don't teach you at university. These are the things that I find out and pass on to you, my lovely fellow Gartshore Gang members. Right, here we are, number 57, Schubert's Lullaby. Isn't that a delightfully beautiful little piece of music? A lullaby, a true lullaby by Franz Schubert. A Wiegenlied. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, I do apologize for that picture still being up there in the corner. Vanessa disappeared during that number. Are you coming back? She's coming back in a minute. Right, okay. So obviously something interesting happened. Baby Gartshore has had a moment, I think a moment. Right, now let's change the tune completely. Our friend Dominic Eckhard sent me a piece of music the other day that I don't know. I'm guessing is it something Easter? I think it's an Eastery hymn, something like that. And Dominic didn't know about our wonderful, exciting news, so he sent a sort of a regular request. And this is a wonderful piece of music. It's actually written for trumpet and organ by Jan Mulder, who is a Dutch colleague. And it's arranged, by Jan Mulder. And it's Daar juicht een toon. I'm not even sure if that's how you pronounce it. I'm sure there's a German and even English translation to that. So over to you if you know what that is. But it's a wonderful, fun piece of music. This is interesting sight reading because I have to try sight read a trumpet part together with an organ part. So I wonder, will this work? We need a big organ sound. So let's do exactly that. Get ready, it's loud. Gosh, I rather like that. I've just noticed my machine is making a funny, something's wrong with the recording. Normally I record these streams on an external disk, and for some reason it's not working tonight. So the beginning of this evening's concert was not recorded. Now it's working. was flashing and doing some exciting things. Okay. Ooh, exciting. Right. Isn't that a good piece of music? I love it. So, yes, did we have a translation there? Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, Dominic. Louder. Yes, Uncle Joe won't go louder than that. This organ won't go louder than that. Is this the loudest organ we have for Hauptwerk? No, it isn't. There are louder ones, and there are even better organs than this. This organ does not have a tuba or a chamade. What it does have, it has different trumpets in various different levels of pitch. And then it has these wonderful, you know, it has what you have, the, you know, the sort of the French snarly reeds. If I close this box, and then open it, you get that lovely snarly effect. There's something snarly about French organs. And again, we have more of those snarly things here. Open that. Oh, that's why it's not loud. And then down on the pedal department, you have even bigger, dangerously snarly reeds that will actually blow your head off, which is rather good fun. Rather good fun. Now, our friend George, or Georg, from up north in Germany, sent us a couple of pieces of music for tonight. Can you hear our little mozzarella bear is doing her mozzie stuff? She ain't happy. I wonder why she's probably not happy because she's not cuddling with Dad. She loves cuddling with her dad, and then she doesn't do that. So exciting stuff. Right, this one is, this was from our friend George. And he sent me two pieces of music, and we're going to do this one tonight. The other one I'll save for another occasion. I know it would fit tonight, but it doesn't sort of fit with the program. Sorry, George, we'll do it again. But this one is absolutely perfect, and it's a wonderful piece of music. You know it all around the world, but it's originally a little German lullaby, and it should be sung to little girls to make them go to sleep. Are we going to go to sleep? Or are mums coming back with our little ball of mozzarella? How is she doing?
Okay.
Oh, she has her soother, her pacifier, her dummy. When I was little, they were called dummies. Now they're called pacifiers or soothers, or what else do they call them?
Was denn hier nennt man es Nuckel?
Nuckel. That's the German word for it. Nuckel is sort of like this, the finger, that part of the finger to do that. Anyway. Oh, Vanessa, you've missed tons of stuff. And I still have this picture in the car. Oh, she took it off. Thank you very much. This is a beautiful piece of music called Guten Abend, Gute Nacht, which is, of course, good evening, good night. But it actually just means nighty-night. And it's a very lovely, simple lullaby. And you all know it. You've probably got it. You've probably got it in your mobile phones as a melody. You'll have it in all sorts of things. If you have a child's mobile, when you pull the string and the mobile goes, it's probably this melody. You will recognize it. And I'm going to improvise around on it using this interesting and wonderful organ in La Belle France. Unfortunately, it didn't work. If you can hear in the background, she's crying along. She's not happy. She's not a happy bunny tonight. She's angry. She's angry. She's angry. Is she hungry? She can't be hungry again. She's had tons to eat today. Absolutely tons to eat. Isn't that lovely? Cute piece of music, isn't it? And you can do little things with it. I hope you didn't mind. Now, what we're going to do now, and oh, by the way, people are asking about the organ. Yes, this is actually a 4-manual organ. The original one is a 4-manual organ, and it's very much like the sort of the large cavalier calls of old. So, for example, where you have Saint-Sulpice, for example, where you would have the bottom manual would be something called the Grand Chœur, which you couple everything to. Then you have the Grand Chœur, the Grand Orgue, then the positive, then originally the solo and the swell. They changed them round over the years. So now the swell is the 4th, and the 5th manual is the solo, or is it the solo or the bombard? I can't remember what it's called now. Solo, isn't it? And now, on this wonderful organ, we have the swell division here, which is the 4th manual, which is, you know, a long way away. That's the 4th one. Now, the 3rd manual is something called the bombard, which is kind of like the sort of the, big division of the great organ. The great organ is the 2nd manual. Sorry, I have everything coupled together. And the bottom manual is the choir, the positive. Now that's the way the original organ is set up. Now I know a lot of online organists change things around. They like the swell to be on the 3rd manual, and they would have the bombard up there. I leave everything as it is on the original organ. Imagine I went to Nancy Cathedral and had to play the organ for a service, for a concert, whatever. And I was used to playing it in different orders and all that manuals. I would be completely out of, you know, my depth. So I keep everything as it's supposed to be. So, for example, on a lot of French organs, the Grand Orgue would actually be the bottom manual, then the positive, then the swell, the récit. That's how you would find it in a lot of things. And I know a lot of my colleagues do it differently. They put the Grand Orgue in the middle, where the great organ would be on a British or American organ, the choir down there and the swell there. And, you know, that's fine because it's easy. You know, every organ is then the same to play, as it were. It, you know, kind of makes sense for certain things, but if you are then to go and play the original organ in its original home, you're a bit lost. It's a bit of a shame. So anyway, that's why I do it like this. Now, let me see. I think if I'm clever here, I think I might have the actual registrations we need for this very piece of music. Or maybe not. No, I don't. I thought I did. Damn it, Janet. Okay. We'll just have to do it by hand. Okay, we'll do it by hand. This was a request a long time ago, and I haven't gotten around to playing it, so I thought we'd do it today on this organ, because it's rather lovely and it works rather nicely. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add that. Something interesting about old French organs like this is they have something called a vox humana, a voix humaine, which sounds a bit like a sort of a goat on heat. And it's a very sort of popular stop in French romantic organ music. And I'm going to play this lovely piece of music by crazy composer Louis James Alfred Lefebvre-Velly, who was an absolute nutcase, but wonderful. Wrote some amazing music. He was basically the world's first theatre organist, let's face it. And he wrote amazing music for all these organs. And I think what we'll do, we need an 8-foot flute in the pedal. I'm actually going to cheat with the pedal and use 16 as well, because it just beefs it up a little bit. This is a piece of music from he wrote many masses for organ. The organist was supposed to, play this kind of music during a mass service. And in order to entertain the congregation, or audience, I suppose he would have called it, he composed some rather fun music from time to time. And I like this one a lot. I think it's absolutely wonderful. This is his Chœur de Voix Humaine, a Vox Humana choir. And It's rather lovely. So there's this beautiful sort of melody in the Vox Humana, which is dead legato. It's very difficult to play. And the right hand has got sort of little fluty chirps. And I think this is a lovely piece of music. I think it would work beautifully as a lullaby as well. That's why I chose it tonight. And it was a request of old. It's a lovely piece of music. Sounds something like this. That one didn't work either. The Choir of Vox Humanae. A lovely piece of music by Lefebvre Velli. This is interesting. This is the first time we've played a concert with a crying baby in the background. Very interesting for concentration purposes. I love it. I love it. Beautiful, cute piece of music. Now, our friend Lefebvre Velli did not just write soothing, lovely music like that. He also wrote crazy music. And this is the kind of thing he composed in order to chuck people out of the church. This is, after the service is over, he gave us this. Now, this is a spot of sight reading. This was a request that came in a long time ago, and we never got round to it, so I do apologize. Again, Lefebvre Velli, and this is a sortie. In other words, an exit. A processional to get out of the church. This is what he would play at the end of a service as the priests and everyone else were marching out of the church. I can imagine he had a few raised eyebrows when he played this kind of music and did these kinds of things. I think it's hilarious music. He wrote various of these. He wrote a wonderful one in E flat, which is... It's a real sort of oompa thing. And this one in B flat is again a bit more oompa as well. It's absolutely great fun to play, I think. Let's find out. Sight reading. There are some fun twists in that, aren't there? My goodness, what an amazing piece of music. Can you imagine going to a church at that time? Now we're talking at the same kind of time, so earlier than César Franck, basically. Yeah? Imagine going to a church at this time and hearing someone playing that at the organ. Hilarious. Well, there are some funny turns there, aren't there? How are you supposed to do that? Got to hold notes in there. That's quite. That sort of works. Yeah, that works, okay. I think I will practice that and have a go at that for some proper playing at some point. Isn't that cute? I like it. I like silly music. That's about as silly as it gets. Let's stick to our wonderful, crazy French composers and let's have a piece of music by Claude Debussy, again composed for children. However, definitely not politically correct in this day and age. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a piece of music with a very naughty title indeed. I don't think we could get away with it in this day and age. I'm going to call it Dance of the... Oh, I've got to be careful now, haven't I? Dance of the Ethnically Sourced Children's Toy. There you are. Dance of the... I can't even call it ethnically sourced. That's probably not politically correct either. What would the woke generation call this piece of music? I don't know. Nor do I care. Its original title, ladies and gentlemen, is The Gollywogs Cakewalk. And that's probably going to get me a copyright claim or a copyright strike for using naughty words like that. However, it's a piece of music history. It's number 6 from Claude Debussy's Children's Corner. Children's Corner, it sounds like a radio show from... this is the BBC Home Service, and now Children's Corner. And then Peter Sellers comes on and goes, "Good evening, children. Welcome to Children's Corner." Yes, anyway, last of 6 pieces from Children's Corner, the Cakewalk. Fun stuff indeed. What do you think of that? The Hums Cakewalk. I wonder will I get into trouble for calling it that. It's historic. I read recently some crazy folks started rewriting the works of Roald Dahl to make them more politically correct. Right, well, I'm not sure that's such a good idea. I'm going to dedicate the next piece of music to my good friend over in Kansas land, Mr. Mike the Magic Mechanic, or Magic Mike the Mechanic, or the Magic Mechanic Mr. Mike, however you want to call him. I know his real name. I'm going to call him Mike T. And I'm going to dedicate this because I know Mike loves this kind of music, and he bases his own compositions. If you don't follow Magic Mike the Mechanic, I suggest you do. Magic Mike is one of the team of mechanics you will find connected with the wonderfully eccentric Mr. Tyler Hoovey from Hoovey's Garage, and you will regularly see Mike working on Hoovey's cars. And Mike is part of the Gartshore Gang, yes, and he's here tonight. Hello, Mike, how are you doing? And Mike composes all his own music for all his own videos, which I think is amazing. And Mike is working away at some wonderful harmonic movements at the moment. And I'm going to give him a little hint and tip along the way as well, to give him some ideas to sort of spice up the harmonies. But I know that Mike is a great fan of Eric Satie, the wonderfully eccentric French composer. Satie, a very, very eccentric guy. Look up his vita. Incredibly eccentric guy. You know, he only wrote in, was it green ink or something like that, and he always dressed exactly the same way every day. Very eccentric guy. And wonderfully, wonderfully, wonderfully beautiful, but eccentric music as well. And possibly his most famous piece of music are his gymnopédies for piano. And they happen to work very well on organs. And seeing as we're playing French organs this evening, and I've been playing some French music, I thought it might be a nice idea to include this as well. Someone's still crying downstairs at the moment. She's not a happy bunny tonight for some very bizarre reason. Little baby Gartshore. So anyway, let's play Gymnopédie numéro uno, number one, La Première Gymnopédie, dedicating it to Magic Mike, and seeing what we can make the organ sound like. Now this music should be played very slowly. It should be played very calmly, and it should be played without... What's that doing there? It should be played without any form of rubato or playing around with the tempo. It should be very strict, but very calm. That's the most important thing here. It's very, very calm, gentle music. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to beef up the bass of the organ so that we can get some naughtiness going there. And I've got some gentle harmonies here, which I think is rather nice. And then some, isn't that nice? Oh yes. Now those two harmonies there, those are, this is a bit of a harmony lesson for Mike at the same time. Those are what you would call rising harmonies. So the first one is down there, yeah, and the second one is up there, and then it's sort of back down and back up, and it does this. But the harmony that goes with it is a downwards harmony. And then there's this downwards. Yeah? And then it gives it a whole sort of, it gives it a much more relaxing, sort of impressionistic style. It's rather lovely. Now I've got the 32 foot rumbling away in the bass there. That might be a bit of overkill. I think we'll save that for the end. That's more like it, isn't it? That's nice and calm. Yes, I like that. And then we need this beautiful... We need this beautiful soaring but very simple melody on top. Let's see what we can do with this. Gymnopédie number one for crying children and magic mechanics. Let's see what we can do. Very French, isn't it? Something very French about it. I suppose it's been featured in so many French films. It's a black and white film, really, isn't it? With lots of smoking of cheap, nasty cigarettes and drinking of cheap, nasty red wine and leather jackets and all that kind of stuff. Very, very, very bizarre, very bizarre. But lovely music nonetheless. And basically, simple harmonies based around what's called a pedal point. The pedal, in this case, well, a double pedal point. You would have 1, 2. So these chords that just sort of wander about the whole time, yeah? And then this melody around it. And then suddenly, very simple chords, basic triads, but with different bass notes underneath them. So you have that kind of thing. Now, if you're into your improvisation and you know about modes and not scales but modes, then you know that was, what mode is that? Minor, but then with a, what mode is that? Jerry, yes, Jerry, you know. What mode is that, Jerry? You should know that. Yes, yes, yes. Right then. Now, I'm guessing Vanessa's disappeared for the night. Vanessa is off doing her baby things, and we won't be seeing her again. Are you coming back at any point? She's disappeared completely. Hallo? Kommst du wieder heute oder nicht mehr? I don't think we'll be seeing Vanessa again this evening, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, poor old Vanessa. She's tied up with baby Gartshore doing her thing in the background. Such a shame. I should say thank you on the way past. I have noticed the occasional name popping up here on the screen on the way past. Thank you very much for your generous donations. We are doing some donations this evening for our baby Gartshore. Let me go and get the laptop and see if I can do some crazy stuff in the background here. Seeing as Vanessa's disappeared. Check this out. Let me see if I can do what Vanessa does. If I do this, and then if I do... Right, watch this. See the banner at the bottom of the screen? It says, thank you for your support. Watch this. Click. It now says, welcome baby Gartshore. Look at that. Isn't that cute? It now says, welcome baby Gartshore. So there you are. So anything that's appearing tonight in our generous donation fund, we're going to, not Dorian, Jez, not Dorian. It's another one. Aeolian, not Aeolian either, Dr. Charles. Ha 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 ha. Aeolian would be, that would be Aeolian. A sort of a normal, natural minor is Aeolian. Yes, anyway. Welcome, baby Gartshore. I like that. That's nice, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, so thank you very much on the way past for your generous donations coming in. Vanessa's got a little link there pinned on, and I see Great Uncle Joe has occasionally been telling us about other things and things like that. Yes, recently, can you do the tippy-tappy? What's the tippy-tappy, Jerry? Nope, definitely not pentatonic. Pentatonic is... That's pentatonic. How about the Phrygian... There you are, Comjack or Comyak 98 got it. The Phrygian mode. Otherwise known as the minor Spanish mode. There you are. Bizarre, bizarre. What's the tippy-tappy, Jerry? I'm not sure what the tippy-tappy is. Zedox got it as well. Phrygian indeed. Wonderful stuff. Right. Back to the hymns for children. This is a lovely one that has been requested by somebody. It was put in front of me, so it was requested by somebody. So I can't tell you who it was, but thank you very much, whoever requested it. The Prayer of St. Francis. Make me a channel of your peace. A wonderfully beautiful hymn, perfect for kids around the world, and in the key of D major, which makes it much easier to play. Whew. That sounds good on this organ, doesn't it? Doesn't it? What an amazing instrument. I've forgotten how good this is. This is the first time I played Nancy for months. I've forgotten just how good it was. Wonderful stuff. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your requests this evening. We have a final number. On Friday night, we said because we now have a juniorette, because we now have a little mozzarella, because we now have Melody. Cam said, wouldn't that be a good internet name for our daughter? Melody Gartshore. That would be quite good. Someone, Panlomito, I think, was it, who suggested Celeste, which is also quite a cute name, I suppose. Celeste. Melody Celeste Gartshore. That'd be an interesting name, wouldn't it? Anyway. And on Friday night we said, you know, our concerts aren't going to be as long as they usually were because we've got to get into the rhythm of having a new baby. So obviously that's not true because we're coming up to midnight in this part of the world. And I'm going to play our final official piece of music. Again, this was a request, so thank you very much, whoever you were who requested this. Sadly, Vanessa didn't put any spider poo on the dot, so I don't know who it's a request for, but it's a lovely piece of music. I know it because I used to do this with one of my choirs. Lovely piece of music, and it will sound quite nice on this organ as well. Hold on, we need to get back to the beginning, don't we? Yes, let's start round about there. This is a lovely piece of music. Again, a sort of a kind of a hymn, but also a bit of a sort of a standard, I suppose. Here I am, Lord. I, the Lord of sea and sky. I have heard my people cry. All who dwell in dark and sin, my hand will save. And so on and so on and so on. But here I am, Lord, is, I suppose this was requested because it sounds a nice little bass for a little baby. Here I am, says the little baby. So there we are. Here I am, Lord. So whoever requested this, thank you very much indeed. What a sound, what a sound. Now, talking of the normal scale would be... However, if we raise the fourth, then we get another exciting mode, and this is something I'm going to be talking to Magic Mike about. Exciting stuff. So, it turns it into film music. It turns it into John Williams, basically, which is rather exciting. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's midnight, which means, unfortunately, we have to stop. We have to go to beddy buys. All those exciting things. Gleiswanderer, did you have a request this evening? I do apologize if something came in. It wasn't passed on to me, so I hope that we will get that ready for next time. We'll do a double for you next time on Friday. So there we are. Ain't no lullaby. No, you're right. It isn't no lullaby. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to finish off with a piece of music. Let me see now. What shall we finish off with tonight? How about, it's in here somewhere. How about, there it is. How about some Stevie Wonder? Bet you didn't think this was going to come up tonight. This was a request the other night. And it's something you have to play. Oh, hold on a minute. I need to think about this. Hold on. I need to work this out. I need to press that button there. I need to press that button there, yes, because I'm about to finish the stream and I'm doing it all myself because Vanessa's not here. So this is exciting. I'm not sure how to do this. Well, we'll work it out. Here we go. Mr. Stevie Wonder, back in the, I'm guessing 70s, wrote a wonderful piece of music called Isn't She Lovely? And I think we'll close this evening's concert with Isn't She Lovely for our wonderful daughter, baby Gartshore, Mozzarella Melody Celeste, whose real name is something else, but we're not disclosing that to the general public. Isn't she lovely? So, ladies and gentlemen, aren't you lovely? Thank you very much for being with us this evening. Great fun to have you in the audience again this evening, part of the Gartshore Gang. Always wonderful to have you around. And we will be back through the week with extras, and then back, of course, on Friday with our regular Friday night live concert. And yes, there will be more extras coming now. Now we're back, and now baby is here. Now we have some time to relax and get on with normal things again, he said famously, but that's the plan. But yes, we'll be back with some extras. So if you are a channel member on Patreon or any of those places, for example, you will be receiving some extra content. If you are one of our online students, we have a number of online students as well, we will be resuming services very, very soon, and I do apologize for keeping you in the dark in the last little while about what's been going on, but obviously we've been getting ready for the birth of our daughter and things have been slightly complicated, but we're fine, we're there, and everything's running now. So, isn't she lovely? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful start to the new week, and we will see you very, very soon.